Alright guys, welcome back to another Opera Omnia video where we're going to be talking about force enhancements. We're going to be talking about what are force enhancements, how do they apply to a character, and what changes do they get, what benefits do they actually gain from unlocking their force levels. Not only that, but we're also going to be covering FR charges in this video, characters with certain abilities that are able to increase the FR gauge a little bit faster than other characters who may not have these types of abilities, but we'll get into that here in just a bit. So if you guys do have any questions related to any of the topics that I am going to be covering in this video, feel free to comment down in the comment section below and I will get to your comment as quickly as possible. So with that being said, let's go ahead and first talk about what are force enhancements. Now, force enhancements are a set of force levels that they introduce with the FR era that basically makes it so that the character can get an increase in their stats and also in their passive abilities, and this will make a lot of their abilities deal much higher damage. So when it comes to stats, it's basically going to be covering like it's going to be increasing like attack, defense, max brave, initial brave, so on and so forth. But then when it comes to passive abilities, those passive abilities will be dealing much higher damage, because once you reach 80% or higher in the force gauge, you're going to be dealing an increase in the brave damage cap up, or you're going to get an increase with the character's brave damage cap up and max brave cap up, or your HP damage cap up, really. So yes, you're going to be gaining that increase in the amount of damage that said abilities are going to be dealing. Now, when it comes to the force levels, each of them do unlock different things for your character, but some of the ones that you definitely want to make sure that you unlock for a character, especially for those who have the ability or have abilities that are able to increase your FR gauge much faster, is going to be related to the charge speed, because there are 3 passives in the force enhancements for every character in the game that have force enhancements unlocked, that is able to increase the force gauge charge speed during their own turn. Without it, you're going to see the percentage of not having it and having it is it's a pretty notable difference. So there are 3 passives, which is going to be force level 3, 13, and 23, that will help in increasing the charge speed for your FR gauge. Now, if you take a look at passives 8, 18, and 28, they increase the HP damage bonus boost after own turn while the force gauge is active. When it comes to the force level 5 and 10, this will usually increase the brave and HP damage limits, or the HP damage cap up, for your skill 1 and skill 2 whenever the force gauge is at 80% or higher. When it comes to force levels 15 and 20, it usually increases the brave and HP damage limits for your EX and your LD abilities, so long as the force gauge is at 80% or higher. And then finally, with force level passives 25 and 30, you are able to increase the HP damage bonus after using your skill 1 and skill 2 during the force time, which normally you just gain an additional 5% whenever you are using your skill 1 or skill 2. So you're adding that additional 5% on top of whatever the conditions are for the FR ability that you use during said fight. Now, when it comes to trying to figure out like which abilities will help you in, or I guess like in this case, the FR charges that will help you to increase the FR gauge a little bit faster, whenever you are under 80% of the force gauge, you're going to notice that on certain abilities they are going to be highlighted with a blue highlight. That is an indication that is going to let you know that like, hey, this right here is an ability that does get a bonus, a small little bonus, whenever you are going to use it, because this ability is going to help out in increasing the FR gauge a little bit faster compared to, let's say, if you use Selfie's skill 1, because Selfie's skill 1 is not highlighted blue, but her skill 2, which is her wall ability, does increase it a little bit more. Now, it varies, this small percentage varies between characters, but for Selfie, for example, she increases the force gauge by 3% on top of what she is already adding with her force enhancements. So she will be with that specific ability and her EX ability, you'll be able to increase it a little bit more than what you would get if you were to use a skill 1. Now, for the picture on the right, whenever your force gauge is at 80% or higher, you're going to notice that all of your skills, so like your skill 1, your skill 2, and then your EX and your LD ability, they will all have that blue highlight indicating that, hey, I am going to be getting that increase in the Brave damage cap up and your HP damage cap up. So that you'll know for sure, and you're going to notice that notable difference in the amount of Brave and HP damage that you are going to be dealing in a fight. Now, I put together a list, and this kind of took me a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that you guys have this list so that you can have it as a reference. So now I'm not going to go through all of this because we'll be here forever if I go through all of this, but I'm going to like point out specific ones, at least some of the ones that I myself have personally used in SHINRYU fights. So first one would be Hope, his skill 1 and skill 2. I'm going to assume that many of you have probably seen Hope being used so much, especially whenever we are trying to build up our FR gauge. We spam skill 1 and skill 2 because it does offer that 3% bonus to increase our FR gauge. Another character that I've used in the past, or that I still use now, Aerith. Her skill 1 and skill 2, it does have that bonus. Another character, Lilith, her skill 2 has that 3% bonus. Selfie that we just talked about, her skill 2 and her EX ability has that 3% bonus. And then if we took a look at the other slide, Shalada, her skill 1 and her EX ability, 3% bonus. Ignis, his skill 1 has a 3% bonus. His skill 2 has a 2% bonus. And then when it comes to his dishes abilities, which is, you know, whenever you use a skill 1 or skill 2 and your Brave and HP command changes to different to his different dishes, then those get a 2% bonus whenever you click either one of the two. Another popular one, Lunafrey, you probably have seen. Many of us spam her skill 1. We get an additional 3% to be able to increase our force gauge faster. So you are more than welcome to screenshot these two slides that I have put together so that way you have an idea. Now, this is the characters that we have currently as I'm recording this video that help in getting that specific bonus to be able to increase the force gauge faster. So hopefully with this video, guys, it'll give you a better idea as to what or how important force enhancements are for a character, which characters have that little bit of a bonus that is able to increase said force gauge a little bit faster with certain abilities and whatnot. Hopefully this video will help you out so that way you know exactly what it is that you're getting into. My recommendations, especially since the FR era, the FR era, SHINRYU era, whichever one of the two you want to go with, since it is going to be new, I would highly recommend that you check out gameplay, you check out some of the some of the default websites that many of us content creators tend to use, like the City Compendium, for example. The City Compendium is probably like the best one because like it has all of the details that you have seen throughout this video, except for the first one. That one, the infographic was done by Rem from the City of the Beast, so credit to him. But the City Compendium they typically have everything that you need in terms of like events, when do these characters get their like force enhancements, so on and so forth. So hopefully this video and all of the information from the City of Companion will help you out into giving you an idea of like, okay, when it comes to using my force, my what do you call it, my stone shards, my force fragments, so which characters should I give it to, and like how high of a level am I going to max out their force levels, whether it be like 20 or 30, whichever one of the two. Hopefully this video right here will give you a better idea. Now, if I did miss anything, I will post it down in a pinned comment. And again, feel free to ask me questions about any of the things that I covered in this video, and I will get to it as soon or as quickly as possible. So, but yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and that's going to be it. So take care, and I will catch you guys in the next one.